I remember the day she came home like it was a punch to the gut. The airport doors slid open, and there she was, smiling, dragging her suitcase, hair glowing from the sun. But something was different. Not just the tan, the vacation glow, but the way she moved, the subtle swelling of her belly that she tried so hard to hide beneath loose clothing. My heart stuttered. "You're pregnant?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She froze. Her smile faltered. "It's nothing," she said quickly, tucking her shirt over her stomach. But I saw it, and in that instant something inside me cracked. We had been married for 3 years, and the thought of her being pregnant was usually a source of joy, not this fear, this unease. I wanted to ask how, when, why, but the hesitation in her eyes, the nervous flutter in her hands, told me this was not going to be simple. The first few days, I tried to convince myself I was overreacting. Maybe it was just a precautionary joke, or she hadn't realized she was further along than she thought. But then the cracks started to appear. Calls she took outside the room, sudden messages that she quickly deleted, excuses for going to the store at odd hours. I wanted to believe her, but my gut twisted with each small sign, whispering warnings I didn't want to hear. One evening a mutual friend came by. She lingered longer than usual, her eyes flicking between us, her voice hesitant. "I don't know if this is my place," she said softly, "but are you sure you know who the father is?" My stomach lurched. Words hung in the air like lead, and I felt the room shrink around me. I laughed nervously at first, trying to brush it off, but the seed of doubt had been planted. That night, I found myself pacing the apartment, replaying every moment I could think of from her vacation. She had gone to visit the beach with a group of friends, she said. I trusted her. I wanted to trust her. But the more I thought, the more pieces refused to fit. There was something in the way she answered my questions, something in the pauses, the half-smiles that didn't reach her eyes. Something was wrong. I began noticing little things. A faint cologne that wasn't hers, a subtle change in her mannerisms, her phone always locked or face down. I tried to tell myself I was imagining it. I wanted desperately to be wrong. But the gnawing sense of betrayal grew, quiet at first, then louder, impossible to ignore. The breaking point came unexpectedly. I had left my laptop open on the couch when she went to the kitchen. A message preview popped up on the screen. "I miss you. Can't wait to see you again." The name flashed. Her best friend's husband. My chest seized, my hands shook. I didn't need to see more. The truth slammed into me with all the force of a hurricane. When she returned to the living room, I confronted her, the words spilling out before I could control them. "Who is he?" My voice cracked, but my eyes held steel. She froze, pale, and the silence between us stretched unbearably. She tried to speak, to explain, but nothing she said landed. Her explanations stumbled over each other, excuses layered on fragile apologies. I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered, tears glistening in her eyes. I felt lonely, disconnected. "I never wanted to hurt you." And yet the evidence was there, glaring, undeniable. Photos on my phone, messages I couldn't unread, my own gut screaming the truth. My love for her hadn't diminished. It had intensified, twisted with grief, anger, and disbelief. I remembered our wedding day, the vows, the promises, the dreams. And now those moments felt like shards in my hands, beautiful but broken. For days I barely spoke. I walked through the apartment like a ghost, replaying memories that now stung with betrayal. The bed we shared felt cold, unfamiliar, as if it had been waiting for this moment of rupture all along. I remembered quiet mornings, our laughter over coffee, the small, intimate gestures that had seemed so mundane at the time, but now seemed like lies we had both been complicit in believing. I wrestled with what to do. I loved her in a raw, unflinching way, but love alone couldn't erase the betrayal, couldn't restore the trust that had been shattered. I debated leaving, confronting her more harshly, even seeking revenge, but none of it felt right. I wanted clarity, honesty, a path forward that wasn't built on deception. One evening, I asked her to sit with me. I laid out the messages, the photos, the undeniable signs of what had happened. She broke down, tears streaming, begging for forgiveness, trying to explain the loneliness, the fear, the emotional void that had driven her to this. I listened, numb, each word a knife, each explanation a reminder that love could be both beautiful and devastatingly fragile. I realized then that I had a choice, not just between staying and leaving, but between allowing this betrayal to define me or reclaiming my sense of self. Chose the latter. I told her I couldn't continue the marriage under these circumstances. That our love, though real, had been undermined by choices that couldn't be forgiven so easily. She pleaded, trying to reach for me, but I stepped back. The apartment, the life we had built, even the promises we made. All of it needed space to breathe, to acknowledge the truth that love without trust is a fragile, temporary thing. I didn't hate her. I didn't even fully understand the emotional spiral that had led her to this. But I understood myself. I understood that I needed to protect my heart, even if it meant letting go of hers. Walking out of that apartment, I felt the weight of heartbreak settle heavily on my shoulders. Each step was painful, each breath a reminder of what had been lost. But beneath the grief was clarity, a painful, necessary understanding that some betrayals cannot be ignored, that love without honesty is not love at all. I left her standing there, hands trembling, eyes wide with regret, and I didn't look back. I walked into the night, carrying the ache of betrayal, the echo of our love, and the hard-earned knowledge that trust, once broken, may never be restored. She came back from vacation pregnant. And it wasn't mine. And as I disappeared into the darkness, I understood the cruelest truth. Love can exist alongside betrayal, but it cannot survive it intact.